They don't pay us to think. They pay us to know. We know we can beat them. There's no excuses why we shouldn't win the game. Period. W is on 3, man. Let's go. W on 3. 1, 2, 3. W.
Welcome, all my fellow Redskin brethren and sisters. I am your man and resident Redskins fan, Lou. Thank you for joining me here on the Redskins Rapid React Quickly on the R3. This was a multi-layered ass whooping. So many different layers to comb back and talk about. Really disappointed in the effort put forth. I talked about this being a second chance at a test that we failed earlier in the season versus New Orleans. Well, we failed that exact same test in pretty much the same fashion, minus a couple of plays here and there. But look, we're arguing about semantics. We got our ass whooped earlier in the season against the NFC South team. We got our ass whooped again by an NFC South team. In the common denominator, common thread, both of those teams highly explosive on offense. We thought our defense could show up and give us a chance. We were wrong. We're not where we thought we were quite yet. Now, to say all of that, I'm still not distraught after this loss. Not like I was against New Orleans, because I think we're a better football team than we were against New Orleans. We're a much better team. We know that we can win against the lesser teams in this league. We just can't beat anybody that can score. So if you can score a bunch of points and you can play a semblance of defense, you got a chance to beat us. So, but the referees were a problem for me in this game, but that's not why we lost. I tell you this all the time. When you get your ass whooped, don't complain to me about the officials, but they did impact this game early when it was still a game, all right? Our first 2 possessions destroyed by penalties. Those were on us. Those were holding penalties. I'm not denying that, but if you're going to call the game tight like that, because holding takes place on every play. I think we can all agree on that. Holding takes place on every single play. It's up to the discretion of the official to decide if that holding penalty impacted the play or not. Because guys hold on every play. It's hard for me to fathom that the Redskins held, and at one point, and this may have been altered late in the game, but at one point, the Redskins had 8 holding penalties for 80 yards, and the Falcons had 1 penalty for 10 yards on holding. And there were so many different plays that I saw Falcons infractions, and I'm like, if you're going to call us for that ticky-tack holding, then you should be calling them for the same thing. But I digress. We got our ass whooped in this game for a number of different reasons other than the officiating. How about Josh Doctson with some big drops early in this game? You want to go toe-to-toe with a team that can score? How about you sustain offense? How do you sustain offense? You catch the football when it comes in your general direction. Hey, Doctson, how about that? 2 drops on 1 possession, the second of which was a backbreaker because 3rd and 15, you've got a completion for 17, you drop the damn football. So you go off the field on a team that's scoring the rock, you're going to have a tough time keeping pace. And so that's a problem onto itself. You want to commit penalties, you want to drop the football, that's going to come back to haunt you. How about the injuries in this game? My goodness, this felt like the Kansas City game last year all over again. You lose. I think Sheriff might have torn his pec. I'm guessing. I hope I'm wrong, but to see the amount of pain that he was in, to see the area of his chest that he was holding, it looks like a torn pec. And if he did tear his pec, he is done for the season. Then you lose Sean Laval. I know you guys love to rag on Laval, but he's the best we got at left guard, and he's done for the season. That didn't look good. They had to wheel the man off. When's the last time you seen a guy wheeled off in a wheelchair? How about getting the cart and taking him off the field? No, they put him in a damn wheelchair. Yikes. So he might not be back for the rest of the season. Ty and Seki, if you weren't paying attention late in this game, and you had every reason to turn this shit off, if you weren't watching at the end, Ty and Seki may have broken his wrist, okay? He couldn't really stand the pain, but he couldn't come out of the game. Who else the hell were we going to put in the game? All right, so he was clutching his wrist on the final 5 snaps of the game. He was clutching his wrist the entire time, barely able to stay in front of the man in front of him because he was in so much pain. So who knows what that is? So we are, just so we can recap, you got Ty Seki with an injury that is undisclosed and we don't know the severity of it right now. You've got Sean Laval with an injury. It looks pretty serious. You've got Brandon Sheriff with an injury. He did not return. It looks pretty serious. Momo went down, but as in typical Momo fashion, he battles through things, but he hurt himself. He came back in this game. Not to mention Trent has a broken hand. We don't know when he's going to come back. He just had surgery, so I imagine that he won't be back for at least another 2 weeks, maybe even 3. That offensive line looks to be in a rough shape, to say the least. Then you sustained other injuries around the field, including Q-Bar. Remember Dunny coming back, playing well, picked off the pass? Well, I think he might have injured himself on that play because after that interception, we saw a lot of Danny Johnson, and Pam Oliver or nobody on the telecast managed to say any goddamn thing about Dunny not moving forward, playing in the game. So that leads me to believe that Dunny re-aggravated something or he's hurt something else. Either way, that's a problem because you saw what happened to our secondary in this game. I thought it was a mistake to start Ha-Ha Clinton Dix. I thought they should have really minimized his role and specialized it. I thought they should have come out and said, hey, we've got 2 starting safeties that are playing well for us right now. What we're going to ask you to do is in third down situations, we've got a specific package that we like with you in the game that's going to allow us to be flexible and do some things. That's how I thought they should have limited his role. Not to say that he came in and effed up team chemistry on the defensive side of the football, but I just think that you had something good going. Until that was messed up, I'd like to see you continue on with that and find a specialized role for Ha-Ha Clinton Dix. That being said, how about stopping the run today? God damn, I knew the Falcons could throw it. And I told you I was uncomfortable with this game. I think we talked about that on Tuesday, and I told you how uncomfortable I was in this game. And I told you that if they scored over 26, we can't keep pace right now. That's just not where we are as a football team. We have to keep teams in the high teens, low 20s to have a shot. If a team goes close to the 30s, they're out of our league, out of our range, and we're going to lose the football game. So it was a very big ask of our defense, but it was an ask nonetheless to hold this Falcons explosive offense down to lower than 26. We damn near failed that. At halftime, they already had 21. They come out on the first possession of the second half, score another touchdown. They've got 28. At that point, I knew we were in trouble. But the thing that gave me hope was that, hey, their defense is trash. And if we can just get some stops defensively, which we did, 2 straight stops to start after the touchdown to start the second half, maybe we can get back into this thing. But more self-destructing. The penalty on Doxson destroyed the drive. I thought it was a bullshit call. I thought it was one of the worst calls of the day. Him spinning the ball on the sidelines. You could say that it's unnecessary. You're down, whatever the score was, 28-7 or whatever the score was at that point. Give me a break. Guys spin the ball all the time. That's not even Josh Doxson's demeanor. Like I said, we killed ourselves. The officials killed us. And then we didn't stop the run. Make the Falcons one-dimensional. There were times where they would throw it, and the Falcons may have had let's say they had 20 first down plays in this game. Probably had more than that because they seemed like they were on the field all goddamn day. But let's just go with the premise of 20 first down plays. They may have thrown it on 17 of them, okay? They threw the football exclusively on first down, looking to be aggressive to stay away from our run defense. But you know what was so gut-wrenching in this game is that when they had an incompletion on first down and they found themselves in 2nd and 10, we have them right where we want them. They turn around and hand it off, and they get 6, or they get 7, or they get 8, or they get 10, or they get 12, and you're saying, what the hell, guys? Really? What the hell? So that was frustrating in itself that we couldn't stop the run. The one thing that we hang our hat on defensively, look, we're banged up in the secondary. We got a lot of moving parts in our secondary right now. A lot of young guys, undrafted guys playing. It's a mess in the secondary. But to not be able to stop the run with the front 7 is as disappointing as it gets. And let me get to the biggest elephant in the room, the thing that probably pissed me off more than anything else. Alex Smith played his best game, arguably, of the season. You can't sit here and tell me that Alex Smith didn't do his job today. But look at his numbers. Just look at the stats for a second. I want you to look at the crawl at the top of the screen, and you tell me what's wrong with that picture. Alex Smith's numbers remind me very eerily similar to Indianapolis. I mean, they are damn near identical to the Indianapolis game. That shit is scary. Also, I want you to take special attention and close look at the leading rusher for this team in this game. That usually is very indicative of how the day went for us. We've been over this before. We've been over who has to be the bell cow for this team to have any success. You see that? That says Alex Smith, 1 carry, 22 yards, Redskins leading rusher. What is wrong with that picture? This is why Jay Gruden cannot be Redskins head coach come next season. And you know I love Jay. I have a strong affinity for Jay. But Jay doesn't get it. Because when you're uncomfortable, and this is as humans, when we're uncomfortable, what do? we do something that is familiar to us, something that makes us comfortable, because we don't like being uncomfortable as humans. So what happens in this game? Well, the last 3 weeks, you play a Giants offense that's inept. You play a Panthers offense that's not all that great. You play a Dallas Cowboys offense that's inept. So what does that allow Jay to do? It allows Jay to be comfortable. And so he can run the football, not have to throw it a lot, be conservative, punt the football when we get in those situations, and allow us to just play Redskin football. That's who we are. Let's not run away from what we are. We've already established an identity. We know who we are. Stick to that. No. He gets uncomfortable. He's out of his comfort zone this week. Why? Because he looks across the field at a Falcons team that can score the football, and he knows that we're probably going to need more than 20 to win this game. So what does he do? He panics and he reverts back to what he's comfortable doing. And what is that? Throwing the damn football. Alex Smith threw it how many times a day? Was it 50? Was it 40? I don't know. It's way too damn much. I can tell you that much. So how many carries does Adrian Peterson have in this game? Don't ask me. I don't know. Did he have a lot of success? No, he didn't. But I can tell you this much. That's not our identity, coming out and slinging the football around the football field. That's not our identity. Adrian Peterson is our damn identity. And when he doesn't get the football, problems ensue. This looked too much like the New Orleans game from a play calling standpoint. Not to say that Alex didn't play much better, but god damn it. Early in this game, it looked like we had no sense of self. It's almost like we forgot how we got this 3-game winning streak. Adrian Peterson may have touched the football 4 total times, maybe 5 in the first half. That's a problem. I can't stress that enough. That's on Jay. Because even if the Falcons were going to score, the best thing that we could have done was take the goddamn air out of the football. Give the defense a break, and maybe the defense could have turned it around. But every time you look up, Falcons are back on offense, and the defense can't get off the field on third downs. God damn it, third down defense was atrocious today. It reminded me of 2016 all over again. God damn it, can we buy a stop on third down? The defense wasn't horrible today. It was just terrible on third downs. Well, that's the money down in this league. You want to win, you got to stop teams on third down. You don't stop teams on third down, you give up 38 goddamn points at home. And last nitpick, can we just wear the championship jerseys, please? Stop all this dilly-dallying, flip-flopping bullshit, okay? Stop wearing the burgundy jerseys unless the team wears their home jersey and forces us to put on the burgundy threads. I want the white tops and the burgundy pants. We on a 3-game winning streak with those bad boys, and now you want to flip the script. Put the goddamn white jerseys on. Piss me off. That was a pathetic performance, but there's a silver lining. We're 5-3. We're still atop the division, and we don't play the Atlanta Falcons nor the New Orleans Saints the rest of the season, unless we make it to the postseason. We won't see those guys. We don't play those guys every single week, all right? We got a lot of teams on the schedule that we can handle. We got to see what these injuries look like. They could be very impactful. Very, very impactful moving forward. But I can tell you this much. We don't have to see the Falcons, and we don't have to see the Saints again. Amen. The Saints are a really good football team. We're going to get to watch them a little bit later on against the Rams. And the Falcons, I told you. So don't let the record fool you. That 3-4, that was a mirage. That's a damn good football team that we lost to today. All right? And offensively, they're one of the best in the league. I told you that. That's why I told you this game made me uncomfortable. But the thing that I thought would allow us to have a chance, we're going to stop the run, which we didn't do today, and we're going to run the football, which we didn't do today. We don't do those two things, we're not going to win many football games. We didn't win the turnover battle because they turned it over once. We turned it over once. And we didn't stay out of trouble in terms of penalties. Look, these are the winning formula for the Redskins. We already know this to be truths. We didn't do any of those things today. And it starts with the coaching staff. You don't run the football, we're not going to have a chance because that's who we are. You can't go and revert back to who you were last year, the year before with Kirk Cousins. That guy left the building. You're not having him walk through the doors. You have to accept who you are as a football team. I don't give a damn if we're playing against the New England Patriots. I don't give a damn if we're playing against the Saints, the Rams, or the goddamn Atlanta Falcons. We must stay dedicated to the run. We didn't do that today, and that's why we got our ass run in this football game. But I come to you today dressed in all black like the Omen, which means we took one on the chin. It happens. We got to pick ourselves up, dust ourselves off. We got Tampa Bay next week on the road. Perfect chance to bounce back. And that's another team that can score. That shit is not going to be easy. For those of you thinking, oh, we got Tampa Bay, we can bounce back. We got injuries, and that team can score. So we could be in trouble again if we forget who the hell we are as an identity. We forget again who we are and have this identity crisis and think we can throw it 40 times at Alex Smith. We'll lose again next week, and we'll get embarrassed on the road versus Tampa Bay. I am a Redskins fan, etched in burgundy and gold. My Redskins spirit will never die. Redskins spirit will never fold until we meet again. Hail to our beloved Washington Redskins. Season's not over. Don't overreact. We're 5-3. I knew that there was a distinct possibility that this could happen. I tried to forewarn all of you that this was a test. And I told you I wasn't comfortable with this test, but I was comfortable in the fact that we had established who we were and that I was hoping that us being us would win through. Well, it didn't shine through. Why? Because we didn't stick to the script. Money over bitches, man. Stick to the script. We run the football. We stop the run. Get back on our shit. Well, we didn't do that today. And because of that, 38-14 is your final score. We get our ass run at the crib. And now we'll talk about it and then some on Tuesday. I am your man, Louie T. See you next time. Have a good one.